Good morning. Going live here in just a few minutes, so it's great to see you. Today we're going to practice a little shoulder modification JIP, so it's just as powerful as a JIP class with the same breath and motions. We're going to concentrate on taking the shoulders out of the flow and any other pose that really dumps or has a lot of impact on our shoulders. So I've been practicing through this pandemic yoga every day, sometimes multiple times a day just for my sanity. And I've been carrying around my little 2-year-old grandson who gets very heavy on long distance walks and things. So I'm feeling a little bit in my shoulders, and I just wanted to take this opportunity because this is taped and here for us. If the shoulder injury does occur, I would like you to experience that in your body, so you have it. It also matches the flow of the breath just as it is. So if you prefer to do our general JIP with the up dog, down dog, vinyasa flow, you're free to do that in place of what we're doing on the mat, but I really encourage you to step out and just put this in your body. Good morning, Elizabeth. And just be open to something new and available to you at any time you might have an injury in your shoulders. So we're just learning how to take care of ourselves with added pressures. So I have this morning, I have an extra mat under my mat, so they're laid crossways. You can also grab a towel, just a regular towel like I have here, and place it under your mat or even on top of your mat. I would prefer under your mat just so you have some softness in your knees. If you're practicing on carpet, it might not be that bad. Good morning. Hi guys, Brandon, Lizzie. It's really good to see you this morning. So we're gonna start in just one more minute. Last sip of coffee. This is a cup Amory gave me. Strong and beautiful. Love it. And it's very big, full of coffee. Love that too. So like I said, if you missed the first part of the video, we are doing a shoulder modification JIP. I promise it is just as powerful as our regular JIP with a lot of less shoulder impact. So again, you can do our regular JIP with your regular vinyasa flow because the breath is the same, which is really great in a class that you may take. You can add this in even though they're doing their own flow. All right, so cheers. Let's take child's pose at the back of your mat with your knees wide and your big toes to touch. Hopefully you can see me. And if that shoulder injury is happening, I would just be comfortable and aware of my shoulders. So for me, it's my left shoulder. And even if you have no shoulder injury, like again, I'm asking you just to try it on. I just set my hands and then place my head on my hands. Pressing my hips back towards my heel. I'm just getting a feel for tightness in my hips. A little stretch in my low back as I shift my hips from the right to the left. Beginning Ujjayi breath. Victorious and strong, breathing in through your nose and then out through your nose. Slightly constricting the back of your throat as you draw in and then gently pressing the air out. Please create stillness, press your hip back towards your heels. Puppy pose. Placing your hands on the mat as we would in downward facing dog. So hands and knees. You're gonna send your knees back towards the back of the mat and then drop your head and press your chest towards your thighs. So it's like downward facing dog kind of on your knees. Your belly is still drawn in and your eyes are set to the back of the mat. I'm taking a lot of weight out of your shoulders, wrists, and hands.
but still being active in your belly and core. Inhale. Exhale. If that doesn't feel like enough, you can keep walking your knees back a little farther. And that took a little pinch on my shoulder, so I'm going to step forward. Yeah, just be where you can be. Inhale together. Exhale, look forward. Step your feet to your hands. Ragdoll pose, the top of your mat. Grab opposite elbows, root down through your feet. Maybe you sway from right to left, little side body stretch. Release your fingers to the mat, toe heel your feet to touch. Extended mountain pose, reach up. Hands to heart center. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and set an intention this morning for your class. It's Good Friday. Maybe just a day of good thoughts. Hope. Courage. A word, a phrase, something that lands for you. Maybe even a prayer for someone else or a nation. Extended mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Placing your hands on your shins or your thighs, roll your shoulder blades towards your spine. Crown of your head is forward, hips draw back. Take another breath in. Breath out. Drop one knee to the mat. And then the other, as you stack your knees right next to each other, pull your belly button in. Camel pose. Place your hands on your low back if that feels good. Inhale your chest to the ceiling. Hands to the mat. Step it back. Knees to the back of the mat. Puppy pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more. Look forward, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold, exhale. Extended mountain, reach up, breathe in. Forward fold. Halfway lift. One knee, the other knee. Camel pose, inhale. Puppy pose, exhale. Chest towards your thighs. Fingers spread wide. 2 more deep breaths in and out. Breathe in together. Let it go. Look forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain pose. Low back bend. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Camel, one knee, other knee, lift up. Hips forward, heart high. Down, puppy. Puppy facing dog. Whoops. Chest towards your thighs. Moving to sun B. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look forward, top of your mat. Halfway. Forward fold. Chair pose. Good. Pull your pelvic bone up towards your belly button and sink your hips as you're getting tailbone towards the floor. And then the weight in your heels, you could lift your toes and really push down in through the 4 corners of your feet. Good. Keeping your front ribs drawn in, your mid-back expands. Breathe in. Sink deeper. A little bit deeper on your exhale. Go. Sink. Inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Camel pose. One knee, then the other. Inhale, lift chest high. Puppy pose, step the knees back. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths. Empty out. Look forward, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. And if your shoulder hurts to put your hands above your head, you can keep them at heart center. I know we're looking for some mobility in the shoulders without weight. So you want to keep active range of motion the best that you can, keeping your arms lifting and reaching, but not with pain. So if pain is occurring in your shoulders, then you're going to just press your palms together. If that's not hurting you, you can also set them on your thighs, keeping your belly button pulled in though. Good, staying in your legs. And looking for range of motion as much as you can get. Breathe in, forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, knees down, one, the other. Inhale, lift up. Go back, puppy pose. Add the warriors. Tuck your back toes under, step your right leg forward. Then dial your back heel down, warrior 1, come up. Good, set your eyes and let your right knee stack over your right ankle. You don't want it to pass. Good, and pull your right hip bone back. And rooting all 4 corners of your feet, especially your back foot down into the mat. And then bring a softness to your face. Again, if the injury is up in your shoulders, keeping your hands at your sides is great. But again, wanting that range of motion. Yeah, keeping the movement. Breathe in. Good, now tricky here. Left knee to the mat. Pivots your back toes forward and then go ahead and allow that knee to fall. Right knee stacks to the left. You're going to find balance. Stay tight in your core. Camel pose. Lift your chest. Tuck your right toes. Step your left foot forward. Warrior 1. Good. Sink over the left ankle. Draw your right hip forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, sink deeper. Inhale, reach out. Right knee to the mat. Left knee next to it. Hands at low back. Inhale, camel. Exhale, puppy. Breathe in. Let it go. We're going to move a little quicker with the flow. And if you want to go ahead and go back into the general JIP Vinyasa flow, you're welcome to do that. The breath should match. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Reach up. One knee to the mat and then the other. That would be your high to low plank. Inhale, lift up or upward facing dog. Puppy or downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right foot steps, warrior 1. Inhale, reach. Left knee to the mat, right knee 2. Inhale, camel. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Right knee to the mat, camel pose. Puppy, hands down, knees back. Chest towards your thighs. One more time through, breathe in. Let it go, look forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, knees to the mat. Inhale, camel pose. Exhale, puppy. Inhale, right foot, warrior one. Exhale, knees to the mat. Inhale, camel pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, left foot to the mat, warrior one. Exhale, both knees to the mat. Inhale, camel. Exhale, puppy. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Good. Tucking your hands in your over. Come to tabletop. And lift your right leg high behind you. Bend your knee and stack your hip and kicking over towards the left side of your mat. Keeping your shoulder blades drawn together. You can stay right here. Or you can also flip your dog, which means we're not going to put the weight in your shoulder. You're just going to sit your bum on the ground and take boat pose. Looking for the intention of the pose is opening your heart, stabilizing your core. Right here, boat. And then back over, hands and knees. Side plank, right knee down, right hand. With left foot on the floor. Raise your left hand to the ceiling. Good, and the intention of this pose is core stabilization. And that's what we're gonna have here. As we come up a little to our fingertips, I'd like you to take your top hand and reach for the front. And your bottom hand too, really balancing on that right knee, core strength. So we're not watering down the JIP, we're keeping the power. Good, and the intention of each pose. High plank, on your knees. Good. Puppy. Breathe in, breathe out. Tabletop. Lift your left leg behind you. Bend and open. You can stay right here. Or again, flipping your dog right onto your bottom. Good, boat pose. Sinking boat. Heart forward. Really active in your core. Squeeze your legs. Tabletop. Side plank. Left knee down, right foot to the mat. Good, right arm to the ceiling, look up. Then find the balance, your hips stacked over each other, and then your knees stable. Take your top hand, reach for the front. Good, and then lift up through the core. Left hand reaches for the front of the room, biceps frame your ears. Good, you're gonna really feel that, maybe even more so than your regular side plank. But hold it a little longer. High plank, knees down. Step them back, puppy pose. Inhale, exhale. Tuck your back toes under, step your right foot forward, crescent. Your back heel stacks right over your back toes. Notice that, not here, but here. Hands to heart center. And then we're just do 5 little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crescent twist. I'm gonna keep my forearm right there on my knee and keep a nice high open twist. Looking for rotation of your rib cage to the left side of your mat. An extension on the crown of your head. A rotation of your ribs. Breathe in. Twist it open. Come back through. Crescent to warrior 2. Extended side angle. Right forearm right back. Left hand to the ceiling. Or you can go down, fingertips to the floor, the inside of your foot. Breathing in Breathing out. I don't recommend taking the bind with a shoulder injury, but if you'd like to, you could put your hand on your hip and then still rotate, working your right elbow to your right knee, pressing away, and then rotating your chest to the ceiling. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath here, and then step back, puppy. Low lunge, left foot forward, and come up on the back toes, crescent. Pelvis is neutral, and pubic bone lifts towards your belly button. And hands can come to heart center for 5 pulses. 5. Knee can touch the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Crescent twist, right forearm, left knee. Extension, rotation. Breathing in, twisting out. One more through. Back to center, crescent. Notice the balance. Warrior 2. Heel to arch alignment. Check your knee tracking towards your baby toe. Your arms at equal lengths. Eyes over your middle finger, drishti. Extended side angle. Fingertips can go for the floor nice and deep in your legs. Option to take your top hand to your hip and then just rotate your chest towards the ceiling a little more. See the contact between my elbow and my knee as I press it out, keeping it open. Little hip. Nice deep breath. Step it back, puppy pose. Inhale. Exhale. Another breath in. Full breath out. Top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Twist right. Back to center. Reaching. Twist left. Right forearm down on my knees, left to the ceiling. Notice my knees are right in line with each other. When my forearms are getting a nice connection with that, noticing if one hip is coming forward, I'm kind of wonky, so I'm just going to keep that into center, squeezing to the midline. So the power and the strength. Weight is in the heels, shifting back as I twist more. Forward fold. Fingers to toes pose, taking your peace fingers, grab your big toes. Shake your head. Notice any tension in your neck. And lengthening the spine all the way up into the cervical section. Yeah, and here I want to interlace my hands just at the base of my skull and not pulling, but just leaving them right there gently resting to create a little more surrender, I guess. Not with force, just with support. And then slide your palms underneath your feet, gorilla pose. Palms to toes. And crow pose. This time we'll do it on our seat. So you're going to take a seated position with your toes to touch, knees wide. Good. And then place your elbows right inside of your knees. Yeah, so like our triceps right there. Good, and then palms forward. We're going to sit back just a little as we lift our legs.
Elbows right inside. Good, and then you could lift your feet a little bit higher. I like to keep my toes together. Push your chest forward, kind of look up. Yeah, this is crow on your butt for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your knees together, squeeze. Take the backs of your thighs, rock and roll forward and back. Forward and back. One more time, forward and back. Stand up, no hands. Good. Hands to heart center. Eagle, right leg over. Yeah, and then just give yourself a big hug. Right arm under in that hug. And then concentrate on keeping your spine straight. So you want your shoulders stacked right over your hips. And curling forward or leaning back, but just a nice stable long line. And draw the crown of your head up as you press your heel down. And pressing down to lift up out of the pelvis. And then switch sides. Eagle, left leg over. And then left arm under for the hug. Maybe the toe wraps. Knit the front ribs together. And even take your jawbone back. Your chin towards your neck. Release. Standing leg raise. And grab your knee or your big toe. And take it out to the right. And depending on your shoulders, maybe you have just your knee. It's just as powerful. And opening their hip. And back to center, lift. Looking for range of motion. Hands above your head, toes up high. Airplane pose. Shift the body into a T shape. Pin the deltoids on your back. Half moon, fingertips together, pause. Left hand down to a block, right hand to the ceiling. Stay in your fingertips, spider hands. Forward fold. You guys missed my smile on Facebook. Extended mountain reach up. Hands to heart center. Standing leg raise left side. Knee or your big toe. Take it out to the left. Gaze to the right. Back to center. Toes higher. Airplane. Put your hands on your hip bones and notice them. You can steer them towards the floor a little. The left hip sometimes likes to come up and open. By dialing your baby toes down, the back toes, kind of turn that hip close so your hip bones are pointing towards the floor. Crown of your head forward. Left heel back. But in with that strong shape, think Tadasana. Squeeze skin to muscle to bone. Right hand down to a block. Left hand to the ceiling. Stacking one hip on top of the other. Start with your gaze at the floor. Shift it to the sidewall. And then to the ceiling. Forward fold. Extended mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Tree pose.
variation of your tree and your fullest expression. Being careful not to place your foot at your knee. Coming back to your intention. And keeping your eyes set on the good, the true, the noble. Hands to heart center. Switch. Tree, left foot to your right thigh, above or below your knee. Full expression, fingertips towards the ceiling. Maybe your heart lifts or your eyes closed this time. Keep your shoulders integrated onto your back, really pulling the muscles together in the middle. Hands to heart center, release. Extended mountain pose, reach up. Forward fold bow. Halfway lift. Knees to the mat, exhale. Inhale, camel pose. Exhale, puppy. Right foot, warrior one. Warrior two. Triangle pose. Placing your hand on your shin, maybe even your thigh today or to the floor. What would feel good for you? Warrior two. Side facing, wide-legged forward fold. Pivoting your toes to the left side of your mat. Bow. New options for lunges here from the right. And bending over to the left knee, straightening your right. And shifting the weight back and forth. You can also twist, placing your left hand down and your right hand to the ceiling. Yeah, or maybe you go for the splits or a headstand, separating your feet. A little stretch in your inner thighs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, walking your feet in if you've gone out. If you went up, come down. Good, and then walk your fingers around to the front of the mat. Pivot all 10 toes forward. Step your back foot in about a third. Namaste, front facing forward fold or pyramid over your right leg. Press your left hip forward. Good. Push down through your feet. And allow your head to fall. Left hand to a block. Right hand to the ceiling, twisted triangle. Chaturanga, high to low plank. Nope, just kidding. Knees to the mat. Camel pose, lift up. Puppy. Almost messed up. Left foot steps, warrior one. Warrior two. Triangle pose. Being intentional and in the moment, not in the script of what usually happens, but what's happening right now. It's new and it's different. Yeah, it can bring a lot of healing to do something different. To slow down, to do a little less. To simplify. Warrior two. Side facing wide leg forward fold bow. Any of the things that we did on the first side, you're welcome to do on this side. Whether they were lunges, twist, headstand, splits. You've gone up, come down, out, come in, halfway lift. Walk your fingers around to the front, step your back foot in. Namaste, front facing, forward fold. Hands can be behind your back. Or fingertips to the floor, I would recommend for this particular class, or to a block. Pyramid. Right hand down, left hand to the ceiling, twist. Lengthen your right side body to the front. Pull your left hip bone back, or right hip bone, press it forward. Good, a little more twist. Lower to both knees. Exhale. Inhale, camel pose. Exhale, puppy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shift forward to your hands and your knees. Good, keeping light in your hands. Stacking the both, your shoulders right over your wrists. Cat-cow tilts, press through your hands around your spine, cat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin, cow. Do a few on your own, exhale. Inhale. One more round of each. Come to neutral. Good, come down to your forearms and then slide your legs back. Knees still on the mat. Keep your belly drawn in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips to the floor. Locust pose. Instead of reaching our arms back, I know that pinches my shoulder, so I'm not willing to do that today. I'm going to keep my fingertips on the mat and my forearms too. So my elbows are on the mat and my fingertips. And I'm going to inhale, slightly press my chest up like baby cobra. Good, grounding down through the top of my feet. Inhale, rise a little higher. Good, and then stay right there. One more breath, press through the fingertips. Lower down. One more time. Cobra pose. Good. Belly still on the mat. Lift your chest higher. Push down through the tops of your feet. Lift up. Lower down. And bend your feet to the ceiling. Floor bow was never an option for me. If you have a strap and you want to stay in the JIP practice, then you would tape the strap around the backs of your feet. I had one, my grandson hit it. Then you could just kick back as you hold up. Like just the expression of it without reaching for your feet. Just got that kicking back and lifting up. Stay here. Good. One more kick up, go up, lower down. Windshield wipe from right to left. And then come to your hands and your knees. One more set, cat-cow. Drop your belly, lift your chin. Tuck in, round your back. Drop your belly, look up. Tuck and round. Set your eyes at your belly button. Good, neutral spine. camel, as if you haven't already done enough. Shoulders over your hips. Maybe this time you reach back for your feet. Your back is nice and warm. And if that's not an option for your shoulders, keep your hands at your low back or whatever is comfortable. Inhale, reach. Chest towards your ceiling. Keep your eyes open. One more breath here. Deep and free. Lower down. Why not? One more. Go back up. Camel. Breathe in. Press your hips forward. Breathe out. Drop your head back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath together. Lower down onto your heels. Exhale. Good. Send your legs around to the front of your mat. Prepare for bridge. Bring your feet in towards your seat. And lift up. Walking your shoulders underneath you. And if you'd like and you have a block, you can place it under your low back for a little restorative break. A lot of back bending in those camels. Or you could release the block and lift a leg for a little more. And come down, hips and feet. Inhale back up. Bridge pose. Lower down. Bridge, lift. And then your right leg lift. Pulse your heel to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, hips and your right foot. Good, back up, bridge pose. Lift your left leg, pulse your heel to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your left foot down, lower your hips. Good. You have the option, if you know you have the strength, and wheel. This is part that I really missed, was wheel. Really coming into the fullest expression of my back bend and opening my heart. I learned how to do it with one arm, so the bad arm didn't hurt. Another option might be if you have a block or walls or even a book. I could show you that. So I'm going to use the top of my fireplace. Nice. And if your shoulders are really, really hurt, I wouldn't recommend this at all. Stay with the bridges. But this is a nice aid. It brings the floor up. Any block or step or things like that based against the wall so there's no movement. This isn't going anywhere. Place your hands down here. Come to the crown of my head and feet in bridge pose, really pressing through the floor. As I lift up, there's a lot less pressure on my shoulders because I have a lift. It's about, 6 to 8 inches off the ground. And then our one hand. Blocks or books against the wall. Yeah, it creates more height. And come down. Doing it again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wheel pose or bridge. Come down. Good, and one more. Ready? Go up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Remembering that if you do choose that, you've got that other shoulder. If it's compromised at all, the good one, don't do that. Know what hurts and really listen to your body. Supta Baddha Konasana. The whole practice is really about honoring. So you're willing to be at your edge. And if there's injury, it's kind of a different edge. And as you discover what works and what doesn't. Happy baby, reach for your toes. Are the insides of your feet. Bringing your knees down towards the sides of your mat. And take a moment, if you're on your back still, like dead bug, to really press the last part of your spine towards your tailbone down into the ground. Consciously pressing the whole spine towards the floor. Of course, the cervical spine is rounded and not on the mat, but you'll notice your head, that space that's not connected. This space is right between your shoulders as it comes down into the thoracic spine, and then lumbar spine, and then your sacrum. Feeling a connection with the floor. And then rock from right to left once or twice. A little massage of your low back. And bring your feet together, send them up towards the ceiling. Hands behind your head. And pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your right foot to hover. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Place both feet up towards the ceiling. Take your block and put it on top of your feet. Nice. Just hold them there, flexing your toes, looking at true north alignment, toes towards your nose. Nice and balanced. Good, reach up, grab your block. See how high you can go. Maybe your feet come towards you. Oh, I got it. All right, bend your knees and take your feet, your block between your feet. But extend and then lower down 30, 60, and hover right above the mat with your block. Go up for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Flex your toes. 30% down. 60. Hover right above the mat. Look at your toes. See the block. Follow the block up with your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Follow the block down. 30%. Drishti on the block. 60. Hold the belly in. Right above the mat. Hover. Lift the shoulder blades. Look at the block. Watch it come up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the block from your feet. Take it overhead. Legs lower. Good. We're going to switch for 5. Hold it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, knees in. Forward and back. Hold the block. One more time. Whee! All right, boat pose. So take the block again. We're gonna kind of do some twists. So toes on the floor or can be extended and just tap back to center, tap. You can use the breath as you inhale, twist, inhale, twist. Back to center, twist, center, twist. You can get a little deeper, elbow tap. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, heart forward, belly in. 3, you got this. 2, keep going. 1, pull it. Wah! All right. Cross your ankles, plant your hands. Let's step back into puppy. Breathe in. Full breath out. Good. Again, breathe through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Step your right foot to the front of the mat. And back knees on the floor. And then walk it over half pigeon. Setting your shin up parallel to the front of your mat. Good. Noticing your back leg. I like to take a look back there, make sure it's right behind me. And tuck your back toes today. Heel right over your toes. And find extension. Shoulders over your hips and then bow. Two more deep breaths. Longer and slower than the one before. And press up into a seat. Take your back leg around, double pigeon, stacking one shin on top of the other, flexing both feet. Shoulder blades together down your back. Or you can fold forward, walking your fingertips out. Now, what's possible if you drop the stories? Looking for the good and shifting your vision, seeking the truth about how really capable you are, injured or not, you're still capable. A willing spirit, practice, and a listening to yourself, to your intuition. It is never wrong. And walking your fingertips back to center and switching legs, half pigeon, other side. Right leg back, left shin parallel to the mat at the front. And bow forward when you're ready. Where can you soften in this pose? What can you give up? Maybe what have you been holding on to? Kind of been holding on to the fear of the unknown, when this might end or what it might look like when it does. Yeah. Just not knowing. It's okay not to know. There's a lot of things I don't know, I've come to realize. And it's okay, because to live is to grow. And I want to grow, and to grow is to learn. So if I drop what I know and just be willing to learn about this new experience, learn about my family, learn new things on the computer, like learning a lot of new things out of my comfort zone, but willing to learn, willing to seek out the truth and connect to that as a sign of hope, encouragement. One more breath. Double pigeon, right leg around, stacking on top of the left. walking your fingertips forward. Going right to your edge, your personal edge. Just a tiny bit out of the comfort zone. Away from the danger zone. And right inside growth zone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good, stay one more breath. When you want out, that's when the pose begins. It's got something for you. Breathe in, maybe an opening up to something. And another breath just for good measure. And come back. And send your legs forward. My forearms to the ground. Lift my chest to the ceiling. Head drops back. And then lower all the way down. Lift your legs. Option to stay here. Headstand. Or the block under your low back. It's amazing. Waterfall. Noticing what it's like in your shoulders. If you walk up to a shoulder stand, for me that's not feeling great today. It's a little bit too much pressure, so I'm going to come down and stay in waterfall. And know that that's just great. This pose is rejuvenation, fresh blood flow. Yeah, less force. It does the work for you. And take a moment to take advantage of that. You could also do this with your legs up the wall. That might feel really good. You can stay for longer with support. And then coming down, feet to the floor. Lift your hips, remove the block. Come down, knees to chest. Extend your right leg. Ooh, cross your left knee across your body to the right side. Keeping your feet active still. Switch sides, extend the left, pull your right knee in. Cross the body, spinal twist. Supine spinal. Back to center, both knees, big squeeze. Supta Baddha Konasana. Good Friday. Acknowledge good thoughts, good people in your life. It's a good yoga practice. And thank you for being here and for joining us. Learning how to take care of ourselves. Shavasana, final rest. Extending your legs and your arms, palms by your sides, face up. And allowing your toes to fall open. And drop any controlled breathing. And dissatisfaction. And the work well done. Give yourself an A for effort. You just have to show up and keep showing up. It doesn't have to look or be any particular way. Listen to the sounds. Maybe it's the sound of silence, sound of birds, sound of children or pets. Just soak that in as your life right now. I will mind the time. You just stay. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. And then go in the opposite direction. And roll over to your right side in a fetal pose. And pulling your knees towards your chest. Yeah, feels good. Balled up. Full of possibility. A new creation. What's possible now? All right, press up to a seat. Hands at heart center. And I might leave you with this loving kindness meditation for today. You can close your eyes and just repeat after me in your own mind. May my heart be filled with loving kindness. May I love and accept myself just as I am. May I be well in my mind and body. May I be safe from negative influences, both inside and out. May I have clear insight. May I live in deep gratitude for all that I have. May I do no harm to myself or others. And may I forgive others who have harmed me. May I see possibility in all things. May I live happy and at ease. May I take wise action towards my dreams. And may creativity and joy and love flow through me today. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a full breath in. Big sigh out. 2 more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Let it out. Thumb tips to forehead center. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Be a light today. Go out there and shine bright. Or stay in your home, shine bright towards your family. Together we bow our heads and say, Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste! Hey, thank you for joining me. It was great seeing you guys. Elizabeth, Brandon, Lizzie. It's so fun. And then if you join me on another day, I'd love the virtual page because we can plug in at any time. It was great to see you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.